Howdy, howdy.
Hey, hey.
This is our
Greetings and salutations.
yes, this is our live hangout.
Our
Look
Hangout.
here.
Happy Love Day. Happy Ash Wednesday. Happy just regular
Yes,
Wednesday.
All of that.
indeed.
Yes.
And I just want to big up and salute our brainchild, creator, producer extraordinaire, because if he were not to call me, I would still be in my bed with the hashes.
No, man, I remembered.
Where
I
we come,
absolutely remembered.
but you remember when it was awake and lucid, but no, if my phone were not ringing, he would say, hello. So thank you.
Yes, yes. So we're going live to a few places. We're going live to IG. We're
Right.
going live to Twitter. We're going
Okay.
live to YouTube, and we're going live to Facebook.
Would. So I'm
Let's
going to
see,
go
look
on
at
Reggae Online right now.
Yes.
Yes, I
Any
see
of the
this
regular
Rockaz Live
lines?
Hangout. All right.
Yeah.
So, like, if I wanted to share it to my story, I just share it.
Oh, look here. Yeah, see there it's on the
Yes.
phone. Proof. See there, Ricky, online
Yes.
live up top
You
there.
can
So,
share it to your stories, and you can share the YouTube link to wherever it need to share to.
Shauna, look how we step in a live. Look how we step up
We
in a
into
live.
lives at the first time my lives and
I
them
like
something
it.
here.
I like it.
So people who come on and comment on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, we can see those comments and we can share them on screen. The IG, I'll have to find a way. They don't share it. It's not part of the thing yet. But
Oh, cool.
Oh
we
yeah, I
can try and
can't share it
respond.
on my story. I can share it in Instagram chats.
Okay.
Me like it. Me like it.
It's fabulous.
Yeah.
Raymond's.
Yes,
So,
I see a few people have joined us on IG.
hey
Linda
guys.
Don and Tiff and Mike. Mikey Fletcher is on too. Hey, Mikey.
Oh, niceness.
Yeah, man. So, yes. So, guys, what's going on? We have a new season of Rockers coming up. We
Yes.
started it last year. It was
Mhm.
quite an interesting beginning. We did two books. We did what we did. We did These Ghosts Are Family,
Mm-hmm.
and we did and that's Maisie Card's book, and
And
we
we
did
did
Roland
SketchUp.
SketchUp by Roland Watson Grant.
Mm-hmm.
And they're two very different books, but very really cool books too. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
And
How you felt?
it was interesting to engage, the different type of books. And one, as I think, was a lot more like, well, both of them had somewhat historical themes, but one was a little bit more carrying us through, the slavery time and what it was like. And one was very more modern, but it still had a lot of Black issues, Caribbean influence. And I mean, I think both of them had elements of spirituality and
Yes.
blackness and all of those things. It was really really cool. It was a really good experience, and I just want to big up this because if it wasn't for Rockaz Book Club, I've been meaning to like read some books and get some books in, and Rockaz is like, yeah man, let's do
Ditto.
this real fast.
Ditto.
So before you know
Because
it, you kind of read.
I still have the two hefty bag of Calabash Bar books that are not to be read yet.
Let's not get into my bookshelf. Let's not get into my bookshelf because it's not going to be okay.
Yeah, but yeah, I think I enjoyed both selections. I love our story element. Telling our stories is so important, especially in this day, age, and time.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I like that unraveling of these stories, of these
Mhm.
families, of these people, living their lives, but also who made them who they are, what they are, the revelations, the things they book upon that were shared with us, the things that we learned before.
Mm-hmm.
So I loved it. And I thought it was a great start. Yeah, nice. And it was also great to engage the writers. That was also one of my favorite things.
Yes.
Is having us reaching out to them and them saying yes. That was also was the icing on the cake for me, because we read it, went through it, talked about it, and then had the writers come in and talk to us about it and about themselves in general. So yeah, I'm excited. I thoroughly enjoyed that journey and looking forward to this one.
Mm-hmm.
And with a big up with co-host who's not here today,
Right.
joining us,
Yes.
Antonio Lyons.
Yes, Antonio is our new facilitator because Carl just got super busy.
Yes.
So
Super busy.
couldn't do it this time around. Yeah, so
So
we'll
big up
see
yourself,
how that's
Paul,
going.
because busy is good.
Busy
Yes.
is good.
We miss you and we love you, but busy is good, Papa. So
Yeah,
enough love and blessings.
yeah. So but we're doing
Definitely.
some stuff a little bit different this year, because last year our meetings were pretty much kind of private.
Mm-hmm.
With it was in the club. I would meet and then maybe share some excerpts or whatever. But we definitely share the meet the author kind of meetings, with Ricardo's and share them. But I think what how we said we want to do it this year, we're gonna do it more in a public way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So all our meetings will be live. Live, I guess, kind of
Like
like
this,
this. Yes.
right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
And
and
so people can just watch if they're in the club. They can join our club online,
online
which we're
and be on
pushing. We're
screen.
pushing, guys. Yes,
Pushing,
yes.
yes. Join the club online. It's a
Mm-hmm.
subscription, but get involved, and there's some little perks and stuff. But you can go. Oh, let me share this just real quick. If you need to find out more about that stuff, there's a link tree, and
Okay.
that has all the links for all the different shows. This one and the rest of the shows we're doing, plus membership for Rockaz Book Club,
Very
and
cool.
and as we would decide on the books, we know the first book already, but as we decide on the books, we'll post that in there as well,
Mm-hmm.
as well as on the site. So yeah, yeah, yeah. And the people who are subscribers will be on screen with us as we discuss the book each time for the month. So that's
Get to ask questions and such.
right,
Yes.
exactly. And for the when we do the meet the author stuff, they can be up front and center,
Mm-hmm.
and field question. I mean, give some questions and stuff as well.
Yeah. And I
So
think I want to add that this came and is we're restarting at an important time because there's a lot of evidence that people and black people are reading and buying books and supporting bookstores,
mhm,
in a time where in some parts of the world they're banning books. So
Yes.
this is an important time to be adding our voice and joining the space of where we are exploring books ourselves, but
mhm,
also there's evidence when you look around, the amount of people who are in book clubs, a lot of them people of color, African diaspora, Jamaican diaspora, who are reading and reading, with alacrity and talking about it, and also expanding reading to children, bringing reading. I have to big up Joel Numdarkham. Joel, if you catch back at Jamaica, yeah, they're still there, Grenada. Joel started reading to children initiative, but then he narrowed it to reading to boys because his friend Latoya Blackwood turned him on to reading, and he gave himself a challenge, and he hadn't read in years, like since school, and just got into it again. And then he realized when we did the group things, the co-ed things, that the boys seem to be lagging. So he's now has an initiative that focuses on going to spaces and reading to boys. And I know Devon House gave him a free venue of space to bring groups of boys. So exciting times and important times, that reading, that literacy, but also seeing yourself, recognizing that, writing things down, and what is the writer's process and the illustrations. It's a beautiful space.
mhm.
So exciting times. I think we're back in exciting times and important times.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Who are some of the people we're looking at? Oh, you remember Antonio gave us some questions.
Oh,
Some
yes, he did give
questions.
us some prompts. Right,
Yes.
Even
so
though he couldn't be
big up
here.
yourself, Antonio.
Yes, right. I don't know
He
who. I
gave
don't
us
know
some
who's.
prompts.
I don't know who's actually watching, but if anybody, because I'm not seeing the numbers, but I'm gonna come up with one of the questions. So this was one of those that Antonio gave us. What sparked your love of literature?
Ooh, ooh, ooh. What sparked my love of literature?
Well, I know right off the top of my head,
Go ahead, Fibs. Go ahead.
Calabar High School.
Aye?
And teachers, I mean, teachers are everything. Teachers big up on themselves. I've become one. I've won. Should I call it the MOE? No, we're gonna be nice today. We're being nice today. Teachers, big up on themselves.
Big up in
But
yourself.
I
be
had,
honest,
to,
be
I
honest.
had, to, and yeah, and teachers that need to be paid better and treated better. It's
Yes.
crazy. It's crazy. I'm in a situation now where, as a teacher, I'm waiting for clearance from the ministry to pay a whole set of people who work September, October, November, December, and the institution is still waiting to hear when. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I had some literature teachers at Calabar. Two of them I'm going to call in particular. Althea Barnwell, who I believe may no longer be with us, and Faye Sangster, who absolutely made literature come alive for me. Miss Barnwell, in fact, I credit her with teaching me the art early on of using the voice as performance. So she had a style where the top two grades for any of the assignments with the essays, we'd read them out in class. And I read them and she said, Fabian, it sounds even better when you read it. 5 more marks. Somebody said, So usually, not to brag, I was in the top 2 or 3. So
Not to brag.
me got dog in the reading. And without fail, I got extra marks. So she turned us on to just wonderful personality and kind of quirky. Miss Sangster now taught me when I was older, at I think from 4th form up to GCE, which it was back then. And she taught me the analysis and reading and discussing the text. And she realized I was a voracious reader. She would actually bring additional books and give to me. I think you might like this. And it's funny, sometimes in class in the 6th form, she said, okay, Fabian, since you're the only one who's read the book, bring your chair up. Me and she would talk.
Rough. That's rough.
Teacher's pet.
Right?
She said, come, Fabian, come. The rest of them don't know what I'm talking about. So literally some classes, my chair would be right at her desk and she and I would be talking while other people who didn't want to take shame with them, I was catching up in class and other people were just doing that. They want to say, 6th form, she not find nobody. But she really made this analytical, the critical thing of what I think and what is going on here and why is this. So it started at Calabar for me with 2 literature teachers in particular, Althea Manuel and Faye Sangster, who is now Faye Mill. Big up on herself.
It's actually sad. I can't remember my literature teachers' names, but I want to say it started probably before high school. But high school is when it was really cemented. Big up Arden High School, the Arden High School. And I can't remember her name, but there was a literature teacher that we got in 4th form, and when you hear about these quirky literature teachers that they kind of say march to the beat of their own drum, and she came in with the silver jewelry and the colors, and of course, if she was Jamaican, she wasn't somebody who kind of resided here. I think she was only here. We only had her for like maybe 1 semester and plus, and I remember her just bringing Shakespeare and everything alive, and she came in and she just lit your passion for it and kind of go, guys, literature is fun. Literature is not necessarily what you think it is. It's not just these old boring books. And the fact that we were doing things like A Brighter Sun, like Caribbean literature, that made us feel like, okay, we're not just reading some books that has nothing about our context.
Foreign.
Although, I love stuff like Shane. I will always remember Shane.
Yes!
I will always remember like To Kill a Mockingbird type of thing, which was Caribbean based. But if you are a Caribbean person, and I can only speak about the Jamaican experience, but it's sexy, so we all had similar books.
Remember Banana Bottom?
Come again?
Banana Bottom?
Yes. Was it The Pearl?
Yes.
The Pearl was on it.
Don Steinbeck. Yes.
All of these books that they're just like, if you are
Green Days by the River.
You're just like, yeah, man. All of us kind of had these memories, and I think it cemented for us that we are. And I think it was one of the things that I remember when I lived in London for a while. Some years ago, I won't date myself. Reading was my companion on the train and on the tube, and that is how you sat down, and like before you know, you were at your stop and you were home. And I promise you, if you never look up sometime, you wouldn't pass your stop because you're absolutely reading. And I think even at 6 months in my life, I think I read more books than maybe I had read in the previous 3 years, because just in commute alone, and it absolutely keeps your company. That's really, it's, And I think realizing that literature was not something over there, so by them, but something that I just see in everyday life. And I really think that's kind of the thing that really sparked my love for it. So again, high school and in particular teachers, Fabian, that
Yeah,
one
I want to
teacher.
big up the teachers of literature, language, the
Mm-hmm.
humanities, who
Mhm.
ground us, who root
Yeah.
us in this world. And as you said, Sean, as the ones who were quirky and had who things that stuck with you, but they turned something on in us, and even the love for words and that exploration and that balance of the things that are not of our culture, but also the importance of the things that are of our culture. Make we read about the Julie Mango tree and the
Yeah.
Kumina yard and Anansi and get that strong balance so people don't. Because a lot of kids like this foreign thing about snow and diddy, but getting that balance and doing both justice. So teachers of literature and writers, big up on yourself.
Well, I think mine might be a little bit different than yours. I mean, yes, the schools, yes, because I had really schools that were really strong with the reading and stuff. At Vash Prep too, every prize giving, that's what you got for prize was a book. So you just got books. Um, but my family, my father read voraciously. Like he just had books stacked up, and so does my aunt. And so he read like Clive Cussler. He read lots of Steve. All of us love Stephen King. So like summers,
Mm,
we'd each be reading like three different Stephen King books over the summer. So that's just what it is. Even to a few weeks before he died, my father was reading through books on Kindle, just
mm,
was drinking water. So
mm-hmm.
that is I think that is really where it comes from for me for sure.
And Mike, I'm s- you
Yeah,
saying
go
that
Fabian.
it's something when I was in the high school system, but generally, you see some of those norms in your home, especially for our boys.
Mm,
And even if you're not reading a novel, read something. So the
read
norm of
something.
reading and
Mhm.
discussing things becomes part of your life and
Yeah.
your microscope. Because especially with our boys, it's a struggle. Them say, "Lord, so the book them boring," and a lot of times their vocabulary is not as good.
Mm-hmm.
That they book them too long. I mean, when I back to my first farmers, they tell me say Young Warriors was long, and Young Warriors is I think less than 100 pages. I said, gentlemen, tap it, tap it, tap it, tap it. And of course, for a lot of them, if there are no pictures,
Yes.
Mhm.
it's an
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
additional turn off. So this normalizing reading in a home space, no matter what
Mhm.
you're reading, crucial, crucial,
Yeah,
crucial.
I
You,
think
you
my
know,
mother did that as well too. Michael, same thing. I mean, most Caribbean again, young women around the world, but Caribbean women will tell you say a bunch of the first books we picked up were the famous Mills and Boons that we were
Uh-huh,
absolutely not
uh-huh.
supposed to be reading now. Cause why are we reading Mills and Boons? And
What was the male one, Mike? What was the male one? The race with the little sex thing.
um,
It was
it
summer.
was
Nick
wasn't
Spit.
it wasn't Louis L'Amour. That was
No
the
man,
you
the
that was
culture was
Michael
like
Holgate.
that.
My boss in secret. That's Michael Holgate's favorite. Louis
There was
L'Amour.
a there was a there's a second man who's like similar, but he was a little raunchier. That I remember guys would come back and pretend they had sex over the summer when they'd really read this book.
oh my gosh, that is so funny.
Yes, because when I started reading, I'm like, wait a minute. So you know, you
I
got
know
buzz. I
this
said,
story.
oh, you remember that? This sounded very familiar.
Yo. And I mean, for those, it's true because parents, the Mills and Boons, and I mean, the Sweet
Mhm.
Valley, the Hardy Boys, and Nancy Drew, there's a whole sector of Caribbean people that the generation because it was a generation of readers,
Mhm.
and you just kind of threw books at them because
Mhm.
my mother used to read, and to this day, newspaper, back to front.
Yeah.
Mhm,
And I
mhm.
think in many
My
ways, yeah,
daddy,
we
that was
don't
daddy's thing.
we might not think it, but I think a lot of Caribbean people have memory of readers around us. Whether it's the old man
Yes.
down
Mhm.
anywhere who don't always kick up outside and read the newspaper. Cause newspaper is something we have to get.
Mhm.
And all of them, if you're not you're buying Observer, we're buying Gleaner, we're buying all of them just to read them.
And even for our people who travel the all the trips abroad, keeping up. First of all, buying a newspaper in the new country, but keeping people sending things from home so you could read and keep up was a thing, was a very important thing. Some people taught themselves to speak or talk English better in those spaces by reading the newspaper and watching the news. For
Yeah.
some people, older Jamaicans, BBC is still a sacred thing.
Yes, absolutely. I just checking. So the people who are, because there are people who are on IG, but we can't get those comments here. So um,
Let me see if
we're
I can
also
get
on
some.
YouTube and Facebook and
Hey
Twitter.
guys.
If you comment there, if you comment on Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube, they'll show up here and we can share them on screen and interact with you more. I'm trying to keep checking back to IG to make sure I get there. Miji is on IG.
Hey
Let me read her.
Mish.
Read
Hey
our comments.
Mish.
So she
So
says,
they
"My
can
mom."
tell us too what sparked their love for literature or reading or
Exactly. That's,
something.
yeah. This is for them too. So Miji says, "My mom tried to get me to read, but I was struggling with undiagnosed dyslexia, and that happens. That happens.
And it
There's a
does.
whole lot of people,
Hmm.
especially in Jamaica, a whole lot of undiagnosed things like
Mm-hmm.
that. And if people were aware, they'd have strategies of how to work around it or address
Yes.
it. Absolutely. Miji, come on YouTube, man.
Yeah,
Come
man.
on, or Twitter. You love Twitter. Go up on Twitter.
Oh my
Um,
god. I don't know
yeah.
if you guys are hearing background noise. I apologize.
It's fine. It's part of the culture. I keep saying that. Like a dog bark or like a cricket is fine. Um,
Uh-huh. Oh,
And you
like
better know how to read with this noise.
yeah,
and
man.
you block it
And
out.
in the COVID days, one of my favorite stories that somebody shared with me is somebody, get pan line, pick the get pan line, right, in a class. And the teacher can make a shady comment about the cock where I cry in the background. And the child said, well, I can't turn on the cock, ma'am.
Amen.
Boom! T-
Yes.
Have that. Have that. Just ask the child to mute the mic or but some comment about and he said,
Yes.
well, miss, if I could turn on the cock, that's coin, I would, but I can't. So sorry.
And some of those comments are so unnecessary.
The pick me in the class. And if it's
Exactly.
disturbing, just ask them to mute their mic.
Yeah.
I said, big up the cockacrow in the background. You also legitimize people and the child's effort to get online, but the shaming, the people just went, boom. I see you this and I raise you this.
Yes.
A
Yeah.
writer in the making.
We want to go to another question. You want to show? You want to
Mhm.
talk or set up one of the clips? Um.
We could probably do a little clip and then go
Yeah.
right into
Okay. Tell me which
our
one.
prompt.
All right. So which one of the clips? You set it up.
We set it up.
Yeah, you know the clip there.
The Maisie first or roll
Yeah.
Amazing.
Maisie
Okay.
first. The
Yeah,
So
Maisie
the
I
first
have
book we did.
Yeah, we have a couple of clips from some of the Meet the Author couple Meet the Author events we had last year, and this one is really featuring you, Shauna,
Oh
um,
Lord.
talking about grounding and
Talk about
belonging.
grounding. Okay.
Yes, yes. Here, all right, here it is. This is Maisie Card, and her book was These Ghosts Are Family.
I think certainly one of the bigger themes in the book is this idea of belonging. And, I think at certain points, all the characters were searching for belonging somewhere, whether it's in this physical, geographical space or of family or of a profession of peace of mind. And I mean, when you had said, going back to a rural town and having a space there, and this idea that your space was never blank by virtue of being a part of this family and this family that belonged to this town. Your space was never blank. It was always there, so you will always be. Similar way in the fashion that, once a Jamaican, always a Jamaican. You're always a son or a daughter of the soil, type of thing. And just this idea of the searching, to belong to something, to belong with someone. And definitely how immigrants feel when they go, or even when, not necessarily immigrants, but legal aliens, when you go to one of these countries, whether it's for college or move there, and belonging in that space, but also somehow never belonging in that space. Whether it might be the mainland, which is the fabulous way of now saying yard, um, or in this country that you have adopted. Um, or that whole thing. And it's like, yes, I'm now Canadian, yes, I'm now American, yes, I'm now British, but I'm always Jamaican. But do I really feel as Jamaican as I should feel? And it's just the whole idea, as you're saying, about the distance and the gap. And I think sometimes reconciling these stories about our family helps to fill that gap, and helps to kind of ground you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you hear my literature voice?
Aha!
Yes, I heard it. I heard it. I
You were
heard it.
serving
Very good. Very good.
for the
But
culture.
that book had some heavy themes, though.
You understood the assignment with
Yeah.
words.
That was me watching it. I said, is that my literature voice? That's my literature
Yeah.
voice.
We have enough voices.
Indeed.
We can
Niceness.
call them up.
Niceness. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But that book had, I mean, one thing about that book, it was, first of all, it was jumping all over the timeline.
Mhm.
I mean, timeline and generations.
Your
And
mind have to sharp for read that book.
yeah,
You
Mm-hmm.
got busy.
and there were some heavy themes in it too. I mean,
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, that's definitely a important one you touched on. Yeah. All
What
right.
was I
So, all
saying?
right, let me find. Oh, we have a comment.
Ooh.
Miji is here. Miji is here. I was about to say, Shauna giving prof vibes.
Yes. Talk the things, Mish. Talk the things.
That's my literature voice.
It was very professorial.
Yes. Yes.
I like it.
Oh my God. Rough.
Yes, indeed. All right. So let's find another of the prompts. Name some of the first books or authors with which you
Wow.
fell in love.
James Baldwin.
All right. Talk.
James
Talk it. Talk it.
Baldwin. James Baldwin just absolutely marvel. I marveled, but it also scared me. I think I was present to the fire in his words, and I didn't understand how you did that yet.
Mm.
Mhm.
So he unsettled me, but enthralled me. And I read so my Miss Sangster gave me I don't know what she didn't know about me. She gave me Giovanni's room for read. So she think I'm mad. And she gave it to me at a time when I needed to read Giovanni's room. And I was floored by the beauty of the story. And then so now I had to go and read five, and I did just up above my head, and I was like, how does he, and even when him writing academically,
Mm.
Mhm.
fire. And I was like, what? What? Claude McKay, when we did Banana Bottom, and then we were introduced to If We Must Die, of course, we never understand. Again, the lyricism in his work, the writing, the Jamaicanness and the groundedness.
Mhm.
I think Toni Morrison was later on in life, but it was the same. And to this day, I marvel at what she was able to capture and put on pages, even
Mhm.
when it confused me. Even when we read it, we go,
Huh?
eh? And sometimes years later, I go back and read this again, you go, oh. But that from that early days, James Baldwin, yeah, just the fire, but and then
Mhm.
later on the brilliance of what he was writing down, and the capturing of stories, and
Okay.
then Claude McKay early on. Tony came later.
Michan says Seven Killings.
Mhm.
Uh,
Marlon
Marlon
James.
James.
that is
Yeah.
one of my unread Calabash books, and
One
somebody
of
Okay.
mine
also
with
later
Marlon
gave me
James.
one as a gift. I hope Marlon don't watch this because he will send me a feisty message.
As you should.
Well, the first book we're gonna do for this season is a Marlon James book. It's one of the earlier ones.
Big up
Right.
Anyway,
Marlon James. Yes.
yeah. Go ahead, Shauna.
I mean, I think I want to say so. Obviously, some of my first introduction post Mills and Boons era, um, post Mills and Boons would have been literature, and and so I think one of the first books in terms of the stuff that came alive to me was the Chrysalids, not a
Okay.
Caribbean author,
Mm.
but just in terms of what it was, and this way that it transported me to the stuff that was happening. um and I mean, obviously, precursor to all of that, when I was very young, and in my prep school, and they wanted, somebody to enter into competition and whatever. I actually fell in love with Louise, with Dr. Louise Ben Coverley.
Mhm.
Yes,
Mhm.
But
man.
and learning very early an appreciation of our language, and also the imagery, because just the writing, and in similar to books that I could read after, it's
Mm-hmm.
this transportation in the middle of the marketplace, in the middle of the road, where you hear the people them are cuss, and the
Mhm.
colors,
In
and
the middle of the cemetery.
yeah, man, just everywhere where you want to be. And I will tell people that I do sometimes struggle with books that don't transport me there immediately. And you know what?
Mhm.
It's not every author is going to do that. Some of it
Mhm.
take a little time,
True.
which is actually what I loved about Sketcher. I was there immediately.
Right. Yeah.
Immediately.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sketchers is a book we did last season.
Mhm.
Um and so for that, the Miss Lou, the Chrysalids, and so just the books that kind of grab me and make me feel like I'm in this place and time, and I'm transported. And I think that's what a lot of people love about books, is that
Mhm.
for a moment you forget that you're literally in your bedroom, in your living room, just
Mm-hmm.
reading. Swear blind anybody. That's why people tell us that they would read, and for days they're lost
Yeah.
Lost.
in the book.
Yep.
You're in the park and time got it dark. And you're like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mijan said she
And
Animal
recently.
Farm, mid-set regional Animal Farm. So,
yep.
Sean, when you mentioned Crystal, I covered my mouth because I can't remember if it was you or Michael Holgate. It might have been Michael years ago. I was looking for something to stage, and he sent me or recommended Chrysalids.
Okay.
Yes.
So what I mentioned Stephen King.
Hmm.
That's definitely there, right? And I could probably name several books that I just I get lost in every time, and I reread them. Um, Lord of the Rings for sure. Um,
Woo.
Fell into that. I was on tour with the Ice Show, and I just fell into Lord of the Rings. When I was in high school, um, me and some friends used to hang out in the library for some reason, and the library had these a little stash of books that never made it on the shelves because I think they were too mature for, for the shelves at Wolmer's. So I remember reading books by Irma Bombeck, and she was hilarious. If Life is a Bowl of Cherries and This is a Pit is one of them that she wrote. Well, that clearly has influenced my sense of humor. Um,
Clearly
rolling on the
fits. Yeah, man.
Yeah, and then there's also some books that again never made to the shelf because this is Jamaica and they're about witches and they're very dark and very
Mhm.
sexual. And so we read some of those. So I'm a big fan of the fantasy genre, and that's Stephen King, all of that. So yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Um, let's talk about the second book about Sketcher. I
Hmm.
mean, and the way some of us are reading the books and some of us are doing Audible. We're doing
Still the
Audible.
Mm.
books, Michael. Still the
Mish,
books.
don't worry about listening to the books. It's still reading.
Still
Because
listening.
she was like, I recently reread Animal Farm. Well, listened. It's the same
I
thing. You read it.
thing.
Yeah, you read it. So yeah. So the person who did the narration for that book had this Louisiana accent, and it just
Mhm.
felt right.
It felt
Um,
right.
It
yeah,
worked.
It hugged you.
yeah,
Yeah, man, nice, nice, nice. And Roland had shared with us that that was a buck up because writer they don't get to choose oftentimes. Well, he get to choose who. So a lot of
hmm
times I'm getting writers hate who ends up reading their book.
yeah,
But Marlon, but Roland was good with
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
this gentleman. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Mijan just said she never had the Mills and Boons era, is what she meant.
Mm.
But I recently discovered spicy sapphic romances.
Yeah,
Okay,
there we go.
and there are lots of them. There are lots of them,
Lots. Do you hear me?
Spicy, honey.
especially
Spicy.
the audiobooks.
Yes.
Spicy.
Yes, yes, yes. So Roland, so the thing with Roland was felt particularly at home when he came
Hmm.
to the the meet the author, because I don't think he gets invited to do this stuff by his peers, by his
Yes.
Jamaican
Right.
peers, his family a lot. So let's watch a little clip where
Yay.
he was talking about that. Here we go. This is Roland Watson Grant, the author of Sketcher.
But I one of the things that I especially appreciate about this invitation, I'll tell you. You say I'm the second in this in your the second meeting that you're doing. I don't know who was the first author thing, but I'll tell you this. This is my first local, and I'm going to say local because it's Barnayard, right? This is my first
Yes, very much,
lo-
very much. I
local
may not be
English.
on the shores, but Michael Sean Harris, the brainchild of this, was
Yes, man.
definitely,
Yes, man.
yeah, man.
It's yard blood, right?
Yes.
Um, I do these things. I really enjoy doing these things. There are a lot of people who are surprised that I like doing these things. But I think in the conversations is where I also get nourished.
Mm.
It's in the conversations I get nourished. So when people get up at whatever time it is in Dubai, I don't know, and it is 8 o'clock in UK and 6 o'clock elsewhere, and I don't know what time it is in Jamaica because I stay up late the night before.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that. And when your peers and your countrymen invite you to things like this, I appreciate that 100-fold. And that's important because novelty and people's fascination with Jamaica, etc., are some of the things that pull them to your work. When it comes to Jamaica, we're a sting crowd. Right? So appreciate a sting crowd. Okay, when a sting crowd says forward, you're forward. Right? So let me just say that, Fabian. Thank you so much. I appreciate your comments. Looking forward to talking with you, and I appreciate this. I really do appreciate my peers talking through the work, and let's see what we learn together. Yeah.
Awesome. Niceness.
Yeah. Very, very cool. Very cool.
Yeah. As you know, Roland is a ray of light. He's a brilliant man. His mind, but his conversation is like coffee tea. It's like chocolate tea.
That's right.
It is beautiful, and he's just
Yeah.
talking to you. But then again, when we're talking about influences, Roland talks about his home,
Mm-hmm.
his mother, the minds, his brothers, the competition, the reading, and I think he'd see, look what it produced. And now he's raising his son around the same thing about literature and language and expressing yourself. It's a wonderful thing. And then I knew Roland from before. He was young coming into advertising industry when I was exiting. And so to see his he's also an amazing photographer. But every time I talk to Roland, I'm like, my goodness. And so it was really exciting. And for him to bless us, but also to hear that we were blessing him by inviting him. And just, Sketcher and the other one, Skid, they've been translated into several languages. And he was saying even that surprised him. He didn't think that this young man would resonate with people, so many people, even outside of the English language thing. So, yeah, we're excited and proud of you, Roland, proud of you. Other of your books are on our list and looking forward to what you'll do next. And then also, him just real, him just down to earth. Yeah.
One of the things that struck me, I remember, and the clip was there, and he said it, the Sting Crowd comment. And for those of you who don't understand, whether it's music, whatever, it is notoriously hard, they would say, for a Jamaican crowd to like you and to welcome you. And that's the thing about the Sting Crowd, because you'll go out and sell out arenas abroad and come home and it's like nobody knows. So when Sting call you, that when home calls, in other words, he's really so much more appreciative. And I think we were saying it's a book like that is something that probably should be on our CSEC list.
Not probably, definitely should be.
It really just, and I think they would be shocked to know how much young Jamaican children would love that book, appreciate that book, read it, and want to do more, because it's so much, it's kind of one of those books, like, I guess, how Brighter Sun was to us, as Cloud with a Silver Lining, that about children as main characters, but it's something that will be in your memory as an adult forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially, they might have a concern but for the older kids, because even now a lot of the children, especially I tutor in literature, just talk about how not relating
Mm-hmm.
a lot of the books, or them saying, the word, the teacher didn't make it relatable.
Mm-hmm.
So they need help to say, so what is the relevance of this to me? Where
Mm-hmm.
is my story or my truth in this? What are the connections? And sometimes with very, very foreign or distant topics, you have to do that with students. You have to say, so this, or ask them, is there anything similar? Even if you know, then you share it, because then you approach and you read it in a
Yeah.
different way. You actually read it through a different lens, because you're saying, okay, so this person's in the Ukraine, but what are
Mm-hmm.
the similarities, the commonalities that I can, and then the things that are completely strange and foreign, let me learn about them. Let me
Yeah.
jump on them. But we need a contemporizing of our literature syllabus, definitely. Some of
Yeah.
the poems have been on there for many months. It is a
I mean,
dark
if you think
time, my
about it,
love.
we
What
have
did
people.
the quorum est one that one there?
Will you put them, Fabian?
Death be not proud. Some of them have been on the syllabus for years.
Mhm.
I love Shakespeare, and I think as a literature student, you need to be exposed to Shakespeare. But when you think about it, if we continuously are giving Caribbean people to sit down and be exposed to Shakespeare, certainly we can expose them to other things that
Very
they
much
would
so.
have a better frame of
Very
reference
much so.
for.
Mhm.
Very much so.
So yeah.
And then when you catch a you or some high schools, Chaucer, I remember vividly like it was yesterday, the mighty, formidable Victor Child coming into the Chaucer class with a drop from say, come on from the can't even spell Chaucer. What are you doing in here? You come here. And he would sign the drop up because in under that survive. Come here, you over there. You are not
Wow.
Victor did not. And a lot of times he was true. They didn't even know what Chaucer was.
It's
But
true.
the thing sounded easy. And he would come with the ad form of the very first class and weed out.
He's been there before. He's been through it. He's been
Yes.
through
Yeah,
it, so he knows.
been through it.
He's like, save me the pain. Save me the pain. You know you're
Yeah.
going to drop out, so let's do it now.
And then
That's all.
some of the high schools know that have it up on the thing. Don't know the how to hardness that is going on into Chaucer. To tell them. And of course the kids, the students love it. They're like, he put his face where? Oh my god! You know that one with the woman put her bottom of the window. I bet the man. Yeah, that was on the
Wow,
school
wow, wow.
and the
And
kids,
that's because,
they
I think
they
some of the
fell out.
no, but you see, I think because sometimes these things and then put it on the school list. And a lot of the people who are putting it on putting the curriculum together has never read these
Thank
books.
you. Thank you.
So, but it
How can I
sound
tell
good
you
that
things?
it should be on our list. Sound
Chaucer.
good.
Yeah.
One more prompt.
Yes.
Well, this is really just applying to us, isn't it? It's why are you part of Rockaz in this moment?
Because of
Well,
this.
let me start it. So,
Yeah, so Mike, your answer is even easier. I be started.
me started. So yeah.
That's right.
I
But
think
why did you want to
yes. Why did you? What
Okay.
nudged you?
So the nudging is, I guess, it's still part of the Reggae online thing. I was trying to create some kind of a community online of people who are interested in Caribbean, Jamaican things. I started with the music, and went to other things, to instrument making, to the business of music. But for me, I also wanted stuff with culinary arts and
Mm.
literature and dance and that kind of stuff. So it's still being built. This the concept is still being fleshed out. But definitely the book club was important because I feel like Jamaica, but not just Jamaica. I mean, I can talk about Jamaica because that's where we're from, but the Caribbean,
Mm-hmm.
and not just the English-speaking Caribbean, has such a wealth of literary gold,
Mm-hmm.
let's say,
Mm,
and it's worth exploring and celebrating and discovering because there's so much we do. I mean, we have a lot in common among all of us in the Caribbean and Latin America, but
mhm,
there's also a lot of different things and new things that we can
Mm-hmm.
find out. And things that happen that we didn't remember or never know about, or our future things that people are envisioning that might spark something else in us. So it'd be nice to explore all of those things.
Yeah. Mike, when you get to the cooking part and you want the host that will go to people's house and walk the people through it and be that,
Yes. All right. All right. Good.
I'll be there. Into the
Nice.
people's kitchen,
Hmm.
to say, I'm here with Fabian Thomas today. We're making dukuno. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When we get the big sponsor, we can fly you
Yes.
go Guadeloupe.
Yes,
No, man,
man.
but
Okay.
what I'm saying is right now, I can do Jamaica. You know what I mean?
Let's
Just
do it.
people's
Let's do it.
kitchen.
Let's do
Let's
it.
go.
But you got to FedEx me some samples of
No
the food.
problem. On
Thank
it.
you. Thank you.
Indeed.
Why am I a part of Rockaz? Let me go. I think it was, as you say, I missed elements of the fact that I used to read.
Mr. She'll be a cook.
I will be.
Yes.
Wait, what Midge can cook?
I want to
Like
cook.
Hey,
when Midge cook, she cook.
Yeah,
Anyway,
man.
go
right.
ahead. Brother.
Quite so. Um, no, I think I remember, as I said, there are moments of time in my life where I was up. I read a lot of books, and I think, sometime it could be a version of what my career now and being a teacher and being in academia. And a lot of the time, you get stuck reading academic books. So reading
Mhm.
becomes a chore or a thing for learning or a thing for teaching as opposed to just reading. So
Mm,
Michael said it, and I was just like, you know what? Yes. And and like anything, it's a sacrifice. Some of the days with me is we're not always available. But again, when I think back and go, you know what? I read those two books and I went through and it was so much fun. I was just like, yeah, man, I'm on it again. And it takes like every love in life, it takes work.
Mhm.
But yeah, and you're always gonna catch me if you're saying we're doing Jamaican Caribbean books.
Yeah.
Ready on it. And so yeah, and I know me love aesthetic. The aesthetic of reggae online is good, and just the name alone, Rockaz Book Club, like and then I don't have anything else, and they catch me from the name.
Right. Nice.
yeah, for me, I mean, I remember this young man when I was the administrator at Ashe. When he was talented, I knew of him, I'd seen him perform, and I remember he came in the office and he sat down one day and he said, "Can I play something for you?" And he played me this amazing piece of music that he had recorded in his bedroom.
Hmm.
He had put up egg things on the way, and I said, this is your work?" And he said, "Yes." I said, "In your house?" And he said, "Yeah, I did." And he told me how he black out the sun. I was like, "What?" And since then, I know Mike, and Mike is a genius. I'm just
Hmm.
going to put it out there.
Absolutely.
And he's a genius who hear things in his head that are way outside the box, and then he brings them forth. He's not afraid. One of your favorite song, man, is what? Mountains.
Mountain.
Mountain.
How this little Jamaican youth come to be singing as a mountain with Appalachian rhythm and come in and mix up and who does that?
Great. Great.
Michael Sean Harris does that. And then they have the thing when you're doing the what's the thing with the machine thing? With the
Machine thing that
like
he
you did the
started
TED
to do.
talk, the
Or the
big,
looper, the looping.
Hmm.
who does that? Who takes a folk song and does and says, "This is what I hear and this is what I think is possible." And so when you had this idea, Mike, I loved it. I still think and I'm saying it now, I'm affirming it, I'm claiming it, Reggae Online is gonna blow up because this is a product the world needs because it's authentic,
Hmm.
it's from yard, and there are people all over the globe. And with social media and internet, we can reach Africa, Germany, Japan, wherever, and that's what I'm affirming. And then
Hmm.
as when you added Rockaz, the book club, I'm a literature tetes.
Yes.
And we were joking before, Mike's passion inspires me, and then when he's into production mode. And then the biggest thing is love. I think there's the us as friends, colleagues, just connecting and on passion and love and saying yes to each other. I think the world needs more of that. And I think it's important that we collaborate and share space with each other. Generally in the world, it's important, but as Jamaican people,
Hmm.
across gender, sexualities, location, even Antonio. Also, folks, Antonio was actually the humble member of the book. So let's
Official
see the
member.
clip, official member. And then he said he became like family. And then
Yes.
he asked Mike if you don't mind. Or did you ask him, Mike?
I
And he
think
became
I think Carl
facilitator.
suggested asking
Carla.
because I
Yeah.
wouldn't be able to do it, so I did, and he was,
And we were like, yes.
Yeah, of course.
I know Antonio from. I know accident, you know.
No
Antonio,
brainer.
somebody linked me with Antonio. He was coming to Jamaica to research something, and that's when I met him. So yeah, I'm excited. I mean, I think it's important. We have to tell our own stories and put on the things and create the platforms. And with people that I love, like, and respect, all the better. And like you said, I have not been reading a lot at all. And this pushes me, nudges me. I don't always come on to the episodes having read the chapters. And the Caleb is looking
Get
at
it there.
the question to me because but I'm excited about the reading being back in my life on this platform. So I'm loving it. And I'm
Yeah.
excited, looking forward to this journey.
So before we go, because with the time going, I just let me just talk up a couple of the other things that we have going on. Another friend thing, me, Neela, and Michael Holgate have started a podcast on Reggae
Yeah.
Online, and it's called the Talawa Table. And the first episode, called Cultural Spaces, is already out. It's on Apple, it's on Amazon, it's on Audible, it's on YouTube, it's all over. So
Why do you laugh? Why do you laugh? Go on, sir.
Malo,
Because
she
she's
can't help
slow,
it. She
and
can't
she should.
help it.
And she should.
She can't, exactly. She can't help it. She can't help it. And so we're having fun with that. That's another fun thing. We're discussing a lot of cultural things, and we're looking forward to the feedback we get from people, so we can discuss it again in the next episode. That kind of stuff. So, and then the other thing, we started this last year with Colleen Douglas, called Lounge Lime, and she's talking with a lot of reggae stalwarts. We had one we did live last night with Gussie Clark.
See.
So this is look at her looking fabulous.
Yes.
Right?
Colleen, yeah.
Serving.
Yes. So that is there. Look for it. It's on YouTube. It's on all our platforms. What else? Am I forgetting? Yeah. Again, just look at all of the links for everything, including the courses.
The course
Right.
offerings.
Are you can find them at the link tree link. The courses and the merch, because when we did some Rockaz, I didn't get any, but we have to get some. We did some Rockaz Book Club merch.
Yes.
What was it?
Look out for
Enamel
them.
mug,
Of
A
enamel mug.
mug.
and we did some metal wine tumblers and some.
Yes, I love it.
So go find that for when
Merch is coming. Merch
Yes.
is coming.
Yes, it's there. It's there. So
Yeah.
go order it. It's on. You can find it on the link tree as well.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Important, so important, Mike. And when you mention Lounge Lime, my heart skipped a little beat because I wish Ebo was still here to be on that show.
Yes.
And the
Absolutely.
stories, and he was there, and so we're not blessed with all of our. We've lost a lot of stalwarts
Yes.
in our arts and culture.
Absolutely.
Sadly, a lot of them have not died with the desserts that they deserve. So we big them up, we call their names, we tell their story. We'll be talking about them in this platform because it's so important. Because we can't have generations who don't know who Ibo Cooper is.
Can you
Right.
imagine?
A friend of mine a while back was playing something at work. She was working at CVM a while back, and a young man, bright, talented young man who was working, she was playing Third World on YouTube, and he came over her shoulder. He said, "Who is that?" She said, "Third World," and he said, "Who is that?" It's a Jamaican youth working in a Peter house. They did not know who Third World was.
That's a little scary.
He
Yeah.
said,
A little. Just a little bit.
down and said, "Read this, listen to this." And he was like, "Oh my God, they're amazing." He said they were using cello and reggae. They said, "Yeah."
Imagine that.
Came and yeah. So we have to tell the stories and call the names.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think this is a good time for us to wrap up, and then we'll just go follow us on all the places on
Absolutely.
IG and thing, and then you'll get the notifications once we start. With the other meetings, and once Rockaz going to start the 25th. The 25th.
Yes,
That's
the
going to be
end
the
of the
first
month.
proper thing. So the 25th of this month. So
tell
all
friends and family and colleagues and such.
And all over the world.
Do you have an image of the book that we're doing with Mike?
Oh, I did not bring it up, but it's John Crow's Devil. by Marlon James.
Right.
John Cleese Devil by Marlon James. But go on, you can go on Rockaz on Reggae
Really
Online.
online.
I'll put up links to that. All right.
Cool.
Cool.
Alrighty,
Thank you very much.
guys.
Let me do the little. I have to do the little outro things
More
and
time.
Blessings all. Enjoy the rest of your day, your night. Love and light.
Yes.
love and light. Love and light.
Rockaz!
Rockaz!